not. I mean, sometimes it's good.
Well, so the Fed keeps raising rates, right? They've raised rates to the highest point in the last 15 years. However, right, consumer, prices are down. They're up 7.1 from last year, right? And so we got to say the peak of the inflation was around 10. So, right, we've raised it, 4.25 points, and we've cut it off 3, right? We've cut 3 points. I mean, gas is kind of back down there. That's a phenomenon that, I don't know, there's something unusual in that, right? That doesn't appear to be a natural thing. But home prices are moderating in many, many places. Seems like big urban centers have affordability, but a lot of folks in urban areas are moving out. We have seen some reports of builders, certainly with their expectations. It appears that, right, hopefully we're reaching the bottom of that, right? The Fed raised 0.5. We'll see what happens next month's reports. But hopefully it's the beginning of the end, right? I mean,
the end of what?
Well, right, we're talking about a recession we've been in for a year that no one talks about.
That nobody
that we're going into, right? And so for me, hopefully we have a year or two minimum, and get through it, right? Because there can be some pain for people. I mean,
there already is.
Well,
look at him. Look at his face. Just look at his face.
If you're in real estate, right? I mean, basically, if you got a chunk of money in the bank, you're crying, right? Last year wasn't good to you. There's all kinds of reasons to be down. But I do think that they're starting to make an impact a little bit.
I haven't seen it.
Did you buy gas this week?
Oh, yeah.
So that's seeing it for me. I think, like I said, it's a little funky. There's some unusual stuff.
Ed, you're buying into this BS that they're filtering down to us.
What am I buying?
Well, they raised gas prices from the $2.50 up to $6, and then they lower them back down to $5, and you go, whoopee, boy, it's coming down. BS. It's still up $3 a gallon.
He's right.
So no, I get all that, and they do.
Well, but then how do you feel that we're really doing great?
So didn't they do that when it went from 5 cents to 10? I mean, my whole life, that's how they've done oil. Just like rates, they go up higher. They come back down, but they're still higher than they were.
Ed,
it's happened for 60 years.
The thing that makes me so angry about what we're talking about is it was all calculated by the president. This was all designed to do whatever he's trying to do on multiple fronts.
So I'll get that, and this is one of my things, right? I'm going to say, right, I'll say left-leaning folks. Don't think that their rules change behavior, right? So this war and oil prices, the whole fear of oil prices going out, and, I'm not in Europe. I don't know what they're paying, but best I know, Croatia's open. People are still visiting there and partying. But I think people saved, didn't drive, have been conscious with heating their homes around the world, maybe not here, and so they've used less oil than they expected, and that's why our prices are lower.
Yeah, well, here is playing right into exactly, we're going, ooh, whoopee. The failure of green energy policies in Germany and the rest of the EU and Germany is an anchor for the rest of Europe, and Germans' manufacturing and economies are in serious trouble.
Perfect. So, right, it's so perfect, right? Frustration causes change. Those things aren't working. They haven't drilled. So, regardless who's president next, I think they're going to be a driller unless it's Gavin Newsom, right? We got to get oil. Everybody has to get oil. And I think the green, right, I'm environmentally friendly, but they're too early to market, right? They cost more than the other way, right? You got to,
We just ended up chasing our tail here. My premise is no, things aren't getting better because we have this something less than, I would say, an intelligent person in the White House as president. He is doing things that are literally probably 10 things that are affecting each and every person in this country in a negative way. We haven't even
talked. So what do you do about it?
Yeah, and what do you call it negative?
What do I call it?
Well, but let's just accept that at face value. What do you do about it?
Well, the first thing when it comes to energy, you open up the pipelines and you start drilling.
But he's not going to do that.
You asked what we should do. You didn't ask me.
Well, right, that's what I'm saying.
What are we going to do?
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
You can tell the president what to do. He's not going to do it.
Right.
We already know that. So what are we going to do about it?
Janice, and I was thinking about this on the way over here today about talking about this. Let's talk about the unbridled immigration that we have, people storming our borders.
But that's a separate issue.
That's okay. That's okay.
It would be like me as an incident commander pulling up on a fire that's a high rise and then say, oh, wow, look, it's burning. And people will say, well, what are you going to do? And you say, well, look, it's burning. Yes, every day the news media redefines what we're doing wrong in immigration, and there has been nothing that has changed.
But that's zero. That's a Congress issue.
I don't care whose issue it is; it's not changing.
Well, okay, when we come back, we'll have to try and address this a little better because obviously you're fired up, and we like it. All right, so we'll be back and we'll talk some more about this when we come back. Him in your head. Hey, sister, better watch.
Hey, all you entrepreneurs out there. Whether you have a small business or work from home, LaRue Press offers a virtual office and business address for all your business needs. Located at 280 Gregg Street, Suite 10, LaRue Press is your personal assistant for friendly all-day service. Need a conference room to meet with clients? You got it. With LaRue Press, you also get phone answering service, mail forwarding, package pickup, and even help branding your business. Call LaRue Press at 849-3814 or go online to lrpnv.com.
In Northern Nevada, there's a one-of-a-kind home that provides temporary overnight lodging when veterans or family members are receiving medical care in the Reno area, some from hundreds of miles away. Too often, overnight accommodations are a financial and logistical challenge. Stephanie Tanksley and her husband are veterans who come for treatment from Bishop, California.
We were lucky enough to be connected to the guest house so that I could stay for 10 nights when my husband was in the hospital. So I was able to visit him every day. It was just a blessing.
Veterans Guest House is privately supported by individual and community donations from people like you who recognize our responsibility to support our heroes. And no government money is received for day-to-day operation of the house.
Please support this organization. The Veterans Guest House is an amazing resource for veterans. Supporting this organization is one of the best ways that you can donate your time and your money just to help our veterans and their families.
Find out how you can help at veteransguesthouse.org.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
The nonprofit Reno Sparks Assistance League Thrift Shop offers quality merchandise, including a selection of women's and children's apparel and shoes, books for every age, baby clothes, accessories, sporting goods, toys, housewares, linens, home decor, and seasonal items and jewelry, all at affordable prices. Come in the shop, donate, or join this all-volunteer organization. Assistance League Thrift Shop, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 4 at 1701 Vassar Street in Reno.
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? I'm Janice Hermsen, and we had Doug all fired up.
I loved it. Who do you
Oh, yeah.
That was great. That was great. Before we continue that conversation, I want to mention one thing that popped up on my screen during the break. And it is, I don't know if you guys know, but Arizona has a trial coming up tomorrow. And it is Carrie Lake who
is challenging the count.
Yep, she's challenging, and she did get a court case. They tried to dismiss it, and of course they didn't win this time. Thankfully, didn't do the standing thing. Not sure how she got around, but thank God for that. So I see this thing pop up on my screen because one of the things that's going to happen is Katie Hobbs, her opponent, has to testify. So this thing pops up on my screen. It says, Katie Hobbs filed a motion asking that she not be required to testify at Wednesday's election hearing. The motion was denied. She then filed an emergency motion to reconsider the matter. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
Got a feeling it's going to get denied.
Did you really mean that?
Exactly. Yeah, that's sort of what that was, right? But this goes to our conversation prior to the break where Doug was pretty fired up about the whole financing, and I was saying, what can we do? We the people, what can we do? And at the break, Doug told me what we can do. What do you remember what you said?
Sure, poke them in the nose.
Right, which means in your mind, civil war.
That's what they aren't listening. And one of the, again, if you look at the statistics, and I'm just picking one of the many issues that have gone south since we have this administration. Immigration. 90% of the people polled say we're headed in the wrong direction.
Right.
We, the people, can't change this idiot in the White House.
Right.
And it's even worse than that. No, it's worse than that. What he says is, what problem?
Right. But we can change it, Doug.
I hope so.
SCOTUS, the Supreme Court, has a case before them that they're going to potentially hear on January 6th. That case is about January 6th of 2 years prior when the Congress people that are named in this particular case, there are 385 of them, are being accused of not honoring their oath. I mean, that in essence is what this case is that they didn't honor their oath. And the solution that the Brunson brothers who brought this case, the solution is get them out of office and, they should never be able to serve again because they did not honor their oath. That's treason, in essence.
Well, and honoring the oath was when they wouldn't investigate.
Right. They wouldn't investigate if there was a problem.
Right.
They're not saying there was. They're saying
they're not investigating.
They didn't investigate.
And the fact is
by
they're
law,
required
they
to.
were required to do that, and they did not honor that oath and fulfill their duties. So we the people have control over this.
Yep.
Because right now there's a whole big letter writing campaign going on that I'm happy to share with whoever would like to write a letter. And I'm going to share it with you, Doug.
Yeah, I'm in. Okay. I've already been on. You sent it to me.
I did. You did the online one, but there's also, you can write your own. And I'll send you the guidelines for that. But basically, the whole idea is to let them know that we, the people, care about this. We, the people, are concerned about this because this is huge. If they don't have our backing, they're being threatened all the time.
And if I may, right, Doug, you're right. But polling is just people's opinions, right? There's no action with that. But we have to be proactive here on them to make them do stuff.
Now that we know that there is that sentiment, let's show them that we have that sentiment, that we care about this. Because here's what would happen if they decided to follow exactly the way this is written, and I wouldn't expect that. But let's just say that they did exactly what this thing said. What would happen is 385 members of the Senate and Congress would be removed from office. The president, the vice president, and Mike Pence would no longer be serving. Mike Pence isn't serving now, but he would not be allowed to serve ever again. And the president and the vice president would be removed. You would get what you want. You, the people, have control. Yep. So will it happen? It's not likely. But could it happen? Yes. And if enough of us
pay attention
and notify those SCOTUS members that we do care and we are watching and we do support their making the constitutional decision. And I don't know what the constitutional decision is. I believe it's for them to be reviewed, but who knows?
There's a fly in the ointment, and let me tell you what it is. We just went through an election. Remember, this red wave, oh my gosh, and this and that.
You're missing the point. It's got nothing to do with that. We as the masses took.
Do
you not believe that there's fraud and cheating going on?
Janice,
you can't talk about a red wave.
Let me get my entire thought process out here. What I'm saying is, we not only have the Democratic Party that we as conservatives are trying to change, we have the vast majority of the news media that is a wing of the Democratic Party.
And you have the rhinos that are a wing of the Democratic Party.
And so what are we going up against? Look at this last election.
What's that got to do with what I just talked about?
It was the hatred. It was the hatred for the people within the Republican Party that the vast majority, because of the news media and because of the Democrat and what was going on, all of these terrible issues that we have, people turned a blind eye to.
But these things have been going on. It's been going on since I was born, Doug.
Who turned a blind eye? I need to understand this.
The vote. Look what the vote was.
You're contradicting yourself. You just said they cheat.
Yes, they do. Well, unfortunately, that's the rules we're playing by. I don't know how.
Then the people might not have said what you just said. The people may have said, we do want this gone. We do want this taken care of. But if they got cheated on, how do they know? You don't know that. I don't know that.
Well, what I'm saying is that.
So you can't blame the people, is my point.
What has changed? We're going to go into 2024 with the same power base there and the same hatred.
Didn't I just tell you how it could change?
Well, what I'm telling you is certainly we have our work cut out for us. You're going up against this gigantic machine.
We had a coin flip on that.
I know.
Right? I mean, that'd be a cool change.
That would.
Oh, Janice, please don't mistake it. I am 100% in your camp. What I'm saying is the reality of it is look at this machine that we're fighting against.
We are.
Look at like you said, cheating, what's going on in the elections. How much change have we seen with that?
Who would have thought that Katie Hobbs would be getting ready to have to go on the stand as of this week? Tomorrow or
press
Thursday.
Isn't talking about it, right? They don't have Carrie Lake on there. They got her as a crazed maniac.
That's right.
Well, let me tell you.
They're going to court.
Yeah, so it's real. It's undecided.
Real. It's real, and something's going to happen. May not be what we want to have happen, but there's marginal success just in the fact that the case is being heard, because the media has played this game of, it's all fake.
Glass half full, Doug. Glass half full.
So we have to look at this, and you have to applaud your wins.
Yep.
You can't keep saying everything's bad.
Yep.
We have to applaud the wins, small as they might be. SCOTUS is a win.
Let me tell you,
the fact that it's even in there. There's 2 wins just this week.
That's going to be the funniest daggone thing. As things come to Biden, right, and Republicans fight them with the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court's conservative and believes in a stronger Biden's he's going to get more power from that. Right? It's inevitable. It's funny how things work.
Let me tell you how I handle and how I process all of this. I'd much rather sit back in my chair and watch Ed do calisthenics over across the table from me.
Well, I know, but the world has to spin, right? I mean, right? People have to be born and eat, and
and the other thing we can talk about is the Twitter files. That's another win.
Same thing.
Right?
Yep.
It's another win. There's
total
lots of wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we can't just look at the big losses. We have to look at some of these wins where we're chipping away.
Conservatives are better off without the media and without institutions, right? We are. I mean, to me, that's that fighting spirit of the people.
Yeah. Well, the attitude is, the media lies, so what?
Well, but we don't have that attitude.
Oh, we don't. No. Certainly not.
And the people that listen to us don't have that attitude, or they wouldn't be listening to us. Right?
Well, I think, people just choose to, right? People, we got this whole Canadian thing. You mentioned Canada, and crazy. There is so much information and emotions and things that people are so inundated, whether you get into our assisted suicides or what's going on now in Canada or around the world that didn't happen. People's minds aren't peaceful places. They're restless now, and some people can't deal with it.
I think I'm onto something. Is there any way that we get?
Oh, help me!
No,
hold on.
No.
Hold on. Let me swallow and brace myself.
No, I want a gift certificate to send to the president for assisted suicide.
So, right, the Treasury Department will be knocking on your door.
Yeah,
that's one of those things they'll investigate. And after listening to the show, you'll be like this. What's the guy they got locked up now?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'm looking for him. I can't find my sheet.
I can't find mine either. Oh, come on. We can do this.
As long as my name isn't on it, we're doing
Jeremy
fine.
Brown.
Yeah.
What was it?
Another Jeremy.
Yep. Well, right. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, that's like getting arrested for your dog having fleas, right? Oh, should have been taking better care of him. Right.
Oh, you feel better now?
I do.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Will you sleep? It's so nice to get things off like that.
It is, yeah.
It was really nice to see you all fired up and spitting fire and brimstone.
I know.
Have you ever? You can be an evangelist.
I'll bet you my heart rate got up to about 64, 65.
Easily. Might have even hit 70. All right. We're going to be right back. Debbie, we're taking good care of him. We promise. We'll be back.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. I'm here to warn you about telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Some of these scammers may say threatening things like you will be arrested if you don't make payments or provide personal information. Do not fall for these tricks. These calls are not from us. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you for information or money. If you receive a call like this, hang up. Never give the caller your personal information, like your Social Security number or bank account, or send money in any form, cash, gift cards, wire transfers, or prepaid debit cards. Report the call to our law enforcement arm, the Office of the Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov. Share this information with your friends and family.
Easy for you to say.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. Ouch! Well, by wearing a small remote device called Continuous Glucose Monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers. If you administer insulin 3 or more times per day, or use an insulin pump, call now and learn how a CGM can help you.
Painless. No more pricking my finger. No finger pricks. Convenience. They delivered it free and they took care of all the paperwork.
You can reduce pain right away. Plus, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you spend more time in range. And if you have insurance, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Call now and get free shipping of your new CGM. Plus, we'll bill your insurance for you. 800-432-8150. 800-432-8150. 800-432-8150. That's 800-432-8150. If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. Ouch! Well, by wearing a small remote device called a Continuous Glucose Monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers. If you administer insulin 3 or more times per day, or use an insulin pump, call now and learn how a CGM can help you.
Painless. No more pricking my finger.
No finger prick.
Convenience. They delivered it free and they took care of all the paperwork. for.
You can reduce pain right away. Plus, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you spend more time in range. And if you have insurance, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Call now and get free shipping of your new CGM. Plus, we'll bill your insurance for you. 800-432-8150. 800-432-8150. 800-432-8150. That's 800-432-8150.
Wake up, the sun goes low. Got another rolling soul. Let the fire feel the whole.
I love the depths of my soul. Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story. Doug's all calmed down now.
He's got his shirt off. He was sweating so much he took his shirt off here in the studio. No, I'm just kidding.
No, his lovely Christmas, beautiful red sweater.
Moose eye.
I know, but it's beautiful.
Multiple moose.
I'm going to go home, and my wife's going to give me another Prozac, I think.
And so the negative here is what? Right, I don't know. It doesn't sound like a bad thing to me.
You're funny. Oh, my goodness.
I can't imagine if we were...
We're going to hope you don't get arrested. That's what we're really going to hope. That you don't get any visits from the FBI.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Oh, boy. That might be... That would be the genesis of another book then, wouldn't it?
It might be.
Yeah.
So, and I wouldn't go... So, to me, that's a total left of center, that assisted suicide. They'll get it and run with it. That's totally their thing.
Yeah.
Don't give them any ideas.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Twitter files because that has been...
That is awesome. That's like my Christmas gift.
Do you read them or are you just happy?
So, no, I'm listening, right? I'm big picturing. I'm not like digging in, but I'm trying to listen to people with a clue.
Well, so I pulled up because I thought, well, even though I know what the Twitter files are and you know what the Twitter files are, there are probably people that don't. And so I pulled up, and this is actually from CBS News of all places, that talks about what are the Twitter files. They consist of thousands of internal documents, including many Slack discussions between Twitter employees about their content moderation decisions. So like when Donald Trump got taken off Twitter, things like that.
Right, when they rule on those
things. Yeah. So Twitter Files Part 1 focuses on the company's decisions surrounding news about the material found on what is alleged to be Hunter Biden's laptop. Well, it's already been proven, CBS, that this is Hunter Biden's laptop.
Right.
So it's not alleged anymore. You can stop that.
It's real.
It's real. Yeah. Maybe I ought to write to them.
So that's
I'll edit for them.
So tell CBS that's in the Twitter file.
I will. Exactly. Exactly. And part of what was discovered through that process is the fact that the FBI had contacted them and warned them about the upcoming.
Well, and best I know, they have dialogue between the Biden administration, like not even hidden, just talking.
Right.
Hey, keep this out. We know it happens, right? But they don't do it in front of us.
Right. Right. So then Twitter Files Part 2 highlights how Twitter used the tools to lower the visibility of some accounts. So if you were a high-profile person, they use these tools, and they basically, I guess that might be called shadow banning. I'm not sure.
So you can be seen in Africa only.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
I'm not much of a broadcaster on Twitter. I do watch and pay attention and follow a couple of folks.
Right. Okay, Twitter Files Part 3 centers on Twitter's decision to remove Trump from the platform. That's an interesting array of things, because there were all sorts of arguments going back and forth. And,
right.
So you kind of see the decision-making process, how they got there, that some of the higher-ups didn't even know. And I mean, it's incredible if you ran your business this way.
So I don't have a problem with companies choosing to do that. However, I do. They have to have a factual discussion on it, right? That's a bias. They just had a bias against him. It wasn't facts. It wasn't like he was not spewing facts.
Right.
It was they didn't like him, and so they minimized him.
But the Well, let me finish telling you what this is, and then I'll make my statement. Twitter Files Part 4 adds details about Twitter's removal of Trump. So if you really want to kind of see how that whole process, you kind of know which segment to go to. And these are all on threads on Twitter. So like you can go through the whole thing. You don't have to like jump all over the place to get the details of this. I don't know, if you're not a Twitter user, you might not.
Well, right. But
that.
Elon Musk is trying to make it easy.
He is. Twitter Files Part 5 provides more information about Twitter's decision about banning. The really interesting part of all of this was actually brought out over a year ago, and it might have even been 2 years ago, when Dr. Shiva had a lawsuit against, because he had lost an election, and he did a lawsuit. And in that lawsuit, it was discovered that the government was communicating with Twitter. So this has been known for a really long time, but now everybody knows. What does that mean? That means that nobody talked about the fact that Dr. Shiva had already discovered this, but now that it's on the Twitter Files Part 1 through 5, everybody knows the government is picking up the red phone and saying, hey, folks, would you please
shut her down?
Ed over here.
Yeah, shut her down.
What's going on, and we need to get rid of him. And then they do it. And that's censorship, folks. That's the truth.
They can't even get their own They can't even get their own government like organizations to do that.
But it's the true sense of censorship, or it's the true definition of censorship, is the government. Because everybody said, well, they're a private company. They can do whatever they want. They can, but not at the direction of the government. And that's what was happening. So that's where the problem lies. And that's why the Twitter files are really important. And now let me go back to Katie Hobbs. Guess who contacted Twitter during the process of the elections? Katie Hobbs. So that's kind of ugly.
I sure hope she's smarter than she looks.
That's kind of ugly because...
I don't think she was genetically blessed.
Wow. The two of you guys are in big trouble. It's them. It's not me.
So here, actually, right here, folks, look, right here. Here's the outline of the show, right? And, this is a 2 Edward Noel.
What are you trying to say there, fella?
There's a method to our madness.
Yes, there is. But I'm not always good at it.
Right,
yeah. I mean, that craziness in Canada could have been craziness in
Janice,
Reno.
Can you go back to one of the segments from the first? And that was political representatives convicted of sex crimes.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to talk about. That's a good Christmas subject.
So what was she talking about? 335 of the Supreme Court? Best I know, this is like about 7,000 number.
It is. Yeah,
no, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's the huge. I mean, like every local.
Yeah.
I hate to say that.
Yeah. Well,
but
remember,
many local politicians. I mean. A freakish amount. It's horrifying.
It is.
It truly is.
If you go to, let's see, just go to Wikipedia and look for a list of federal political sex scandals in the United States.
Right.
From 1776 all the way through the current, there are lists and lists. This is just the most current stuff.
This is better than my synonym list, isn't it?
It is. And lists. So this just starts at 2000. And this isn't even an inclusive list. These are the ones that have actually been convicted. The charges are huge.
Right, that's got to be more than, right, there's got to be 4 times the amount of charged.
There was like, I thought we had like 100,000.
We had that list, remember, with all the names on it?
I still have it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that sucker was
wait a minute, I don't like that premise. We ought to have the ones that are charged, because you're not guilty until you're proven guilty. So just because it's a charge means zip.
Totally right. But still, that's a vetting.
Yeah, well, I hate to say it, but that's a political tactic.
It is.
So let's just charge Ed here with...
So let's go with just the fact that from 2000 to 2009, I have almost 2 full pages, and that's not big print, of people that Wikipedia is willing to say were guilty of sex crimes.
Names.
Right. So,
not
I mean,
just
you know
today.
that if these are the ones they're willing to talk about, how many are buried that kind of got put aside? Oh, well, we won't talk about that. Oh, it was all right. Right? So you've got, this is Mark Foley, representative, Republican of Florida, resigned his House seat when accused of sending sexually explicit emails to teenage male congressional pages.
Right? I mean, some of it's just the most ridiculous stuff. The guy's worked his whole life to get to this job, and then he sends a sex picture to some little kid.
Some intern?
Yeah. What up?
There is something really
So that's
wrong with people.
So that person, just by that judgment, shouldn't be in their job.
Right. So then David Vitter, Senator, Republican, Louisiana. And notice most of these are Republicans.
And many
That's
in
my
the
point.
So there's also many in the South.
Yeah, took over the House seat of former Congressman Robert Livingston, who resigned in 1999 following revelations of an extramarital affair. At the time, Vitter stated, "I think Livingston stepping down makes a very powerful argument that Bill Clinton should resign as well." Oh boy.
Well, wait a minute. He had an extramarital affair, and that's an offense?
Apparently.
That's a sex offense?
Apparently.
I would be willing to bet that would pretty much clear Congress out.
Well, we know that
I doubt it.
Kevin McCarthy has been accused, and that was why he didn't get the leadership the last time.
Well, right. So did that other young guy.
Oh, boy, that went fast. All right, we'll come back with more. Don't go away, and you're listening to What's the Story?
The depths of my soul, fear not the burning flames.
You hear it all the time. Buy local, think local, eat local, choose local, grow local. But who the heck really is local? You can shop with locals at the Nevada Marketplace in the Reno Town Mall and search for locals at buynevadafirst.com. We're all local all the time.
Hi, this is Eddie Floyd. Let me tell you about my favorite non-profit public charity, Wainema Wild Horse Sanctuary, located on the Forsyth Ranch in Hallelujah Junction area. And please go to www.wainemaranch.com. That's WYNEMA ranch.com.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Who, me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-296-1259. 800-296-1259. 800-296-1259. That's 800-296-1259.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
she's gone like a
To join the conversation, call 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? I'm Janice Hermsen. I'm your host here with Ed Noel, Doug Ashby, Shanimal in the booth, and what a great day it's been.
Yeah, live energy.
Thanks for being with us today, Shanimal.
I'm sure.
We appreciate it.
Gas prices in Europe are averaging $6.
Wow. I don't know what happened to ours here. I can go down the street and it's $3.79, and then I go across town, it's $4.45.
That's the American way there, though. I
makes no sense, but I'm glad I got the $3.79.
Yeah, well, that's
and didn't see it after I got the $4.45.
These are independent people. They can charge what they want.
I think it's because the gas stations don't have numbers like up above, like 6, 7, 8, 9, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the price of the stations for the sign.
So they're playing around with it.
Right. They're just using different combinations.
Yeah, and we are going to do our book blitz, but I want to quickly, because I did put this into my post, and so I do want to mention about the Balenciaga scandal that happened a while back. I know that the news media loves to let these things die because they don't want us talking about it.
They don't really, anything that involves illicit sex or trafficking in that space, they don't touch with a 10-foot pole, and it's a real problem. Best I can tell, that's where slavery is.
Yep, it sure is. And for them to, first of all, as a parent and a grandparent, I can't even imagine seeing my child or grandchild holding a teddy bear that is wearing bondage gear and thinking that that's cute. So, and I don't care what it's for, I would be saying, nope, you're done now.
Do you know what's interesting about that? When they have pictures of gangs, and then they'll have, all of the the principals in the gang carrying guns, and they'll have their sons also carrying a gun, and you think, my gosh, when's this going to end?
Right, but this is ridiculous. This is an ad for clothing, and I guess, I don't even know what they're advertising at this point.
It could be, I don't know.
Oh, the first campaign, the gift collection campaign. This is a gift you want for your child? I don't think so.
Well, I don't think it would make it in the bin that the Marines collect toys for tots.
You don't think that's going to be in the toy hall
not,
of fame?
Not the top 10, no. And the question that I had is, why did Hollywood take so long for any of the stars to come out and say anything about this? They didn't condemn it. They're still not really condemning it. I'm sure they're still taking all the money.
You really need to ask that question?
I do need to ask that
So
question.
I do.
Because nobody else is asking it.
There's
Why
no
not?
leaders. There's no leaders in that group. There's no one who speaks for all, or no one who's taken that mantle to be the leader of the Hollywood folks. Who is it?
Yeah.
What leading man? What leading woman?
And
no one stepped up and done the right thing.
As a consumer, you should pay attention to that and the fact that that is not being done. And what are they hiding? What are they doing that they shouldn't be doing? And maybe question what you're buying before you buy it.
Yeah, high fashion has some challenges.
Yeah, this is awful. This is just awful.
Genesis,
and then there was another ad that came out today that apparently was mocking the fact that people think that this is bad. And it's equally bad. So I just think that they have no shame. They have no morals. They have no ethics. And I think that we all need to regroup. We, the people, need to regroup and think about what we're doing too.
This comes full circle to what we were talking about. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
And with things like this, we need the luminaries to come out and say, "Hey, I want to really stand for a moral code."
So, but I'm going to tell you, whoever did this, whoever came up with that idea, is genius status already. Just because the way it's been talked about, right? It's got legs. They've got exposure for it, for the idea.
That was a bad analogy.
No, but that person got popular on something that's not cool. Yeah, I think that's way common.
Well, that was the old adage where people would say, "Oh, look at him. He's laughing all the way to the bank." No, I have a moral code. There's some things that I just won't do or won't say. It's just that simple.
Yeah, but there's a few people that don't feel that way.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that feel that way. Yeah. So.
Well, I know that we like to do our book blitz now, so I'm going to start, and then I'm going to let you. I'm going to let you wrap it. I chose a 101 because it's the holidays and fun, and right. The whole show hasn't been fun, but I'm trying to lighten it up a little bit.
Life goes on, right?
101 Ways to Abuse a Barfly, which is a book of bar tricks, gags, bets, challenges, and riddles. And I just thought it was cute. One of our clients wrote the book and sells it, and so it's just different tricks.
It'd probably benefit me to know a bar trick or two.
Probably would. So, of course, this one you'd have to do with something other than alcohol. Successfully drink the contents of the glass while balancing the cork and forks on the rim of the glass.
Maybe apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider will work. Yeah, there you go. So anyway, but it's just kind of fun, and so I wanted to share it. It is written by Sideshow Pete, and there you go. That's our.
It has got to be true.
Abuse a Barfly. It's a cute book.
Good.
Fun. There's my book of the day.
Nice.
I blitzed.
All right.
Your turn.
I honestly thought this was going to be a very light Christmassy.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, that's when, I started out. Usually when I look for a book, I take the word of the day and see if I can come up with a book that kind of relates to it. Well, no, there wasn't anything with that, which you thought there should have been. But the other with...
you can write it.
Yeah, you can write a book on the word.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things I did is I put in a very simple phrase, Christmas. And this was the first one that popped up. And I thought, you know what? I'm not looking any deeper than that, because I read it and I thought, this is absolutely great. And what it does, and I don't know what's happened to me, but I like stories, true stories, centered around World War II, because that's the greatest.
You're taking over April's role.
Yeah, well, I guess
might be
the greatest generation. So anyway, here we go. It's If I Were You, and it's a novel, a gripping Christian historical fiction story of friendship and survival set in London during World War II and post-war America. And I thought, hey, I like that. And it has 4.2 and 10,000 ratings. So that's pretty darn good. And I took the very, very last sentence that they had regarding this book, and I said, boy, that really sums it up. This is a sweeping story, transports readers to one of the most challenging eras of history to explore the deep, abiding power of faith and friendship to overcome more than we ever thought possible. Now, what could be better than that for a Christmas thought?
What a nice way to wrap our show.
How
about that?
Yeah.
Really gentle.
Ooh.
I know the little Christmas. I was going to say, right, I was going to go.
So we're going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya?
Yep. So, right, it's Christmas here. You're supposed to say Dickens' A Christmas Carol is your favorite book, right? And I do want to shout to those folks, right? We've heard these books. We've seen the cartoon versions. Have you read the books? Have you read the classics? Be good to yourself and do it.
There you go.
There's not the truth.
There's Ed's book.
Yeah.
The classics.
We ought to get Ed to write a book.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh no. I've already got it,
the two of you can
No,
I was going to say, how much are you going to pay me?
No, it's how much. It's how much you're going to pay for this idea.
Oh, okay.
A gymnastics touch from an alcoholism person.
Interesting title.
So that's part of my challenge, is that no one relates to them, right? I got people relating to the yoga, people who relate to the alcohol, but not the yoga alcoholic. Well, right? That's a unique combo.
You need to addict the alcoholics to gymnastic touch.
I guess you could take addictions to exercise and mental health.
Yeah, you could go that way.
Yeah, I think
Ed is into
hanging
upside down. Is that right?
Yeah, the inversions are good for you.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, unless you stay all night that way,
or unless you yoga.
Well, right. So you saw what kind of high quality balance I had. I was balancing on the top of my head.
You know, I wondered why when he was down there, he had both his feet up by his head.
Right, when they're kicking, like flailing, right? So those are you're supposed to run out there. You're supposed to run out there real quick, snap a little video. What's the story? Fortunately, I've been saved that humiliation.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it, darn it.
You know what?
What's wrong with
Isn't
me?
it nice
I'm not thinking on my
that you
feet.
created a theme to weave through this past 2 hours? That was great.
Yeah, that was
It's
great.
nice, right, man? But we're all just trying to be the best we can be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's true.
Sometimes we fall a tad short, but
well, I do. But you know what?
We thank Doug for our lovely little gifts here.
Oh, you guys are welcome.
We got
Seas candy.
I have to wait. I do
candy.
have to tell Ed this though. That's a pound box. It's not to be eaten in one setting.
So normally I would be under, right? That would be wise advice. But now my son's with me. All I got to do is
he's
turn
home.
the box over, and I'll be lucky to get a couple of pieces. So he's a moderator for me in many ways.
This is just a real quick story about the fire department. Guys there had a box of Seas candy, and it was great until I walked into the room, and one guy has got a slingshot with a piece of candy, and he's trying to hit the guy's mouth with it across the room.
Well, that's an educated
we
fighter.
say happy holidays to everybody from What's the Story, all three of us. And Shanimal, too.
Him in your head. Hey, sister.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or